Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In the last video we discussed about what fund accounting is. Let me repeat that again for you. Fund accounting is nothing but it's about when we do the accounting of mutual funds, hedge funds and the private equity fund. That is considered as to be fund accounting. Now today in today's class I'll explain you about the more about the mutual funds. So mutual fund is a fund which is started by any fund house. We have a lot of examples like BlackRock, Blackstone and Franklin Templeton, and there are many. So I'll take you through what are the features of a typical mutual fund is. First and foremost, an important feature is pool of money. They pool money from different set of investors. Okay, so it is not like one person is investing only, which is like a kind of big investor. No, it's a pool of money from a lot of investors. There can be thousands of investors in a particular mutual fund. Second is open to general public because the investment size would be very small for mutual funds. In India, you can take example as good as like 500 rupees. If you have in your pocket, then you can become an investor of a mutual fund. Similarly, for you, if you are talking about with regards to US, it can be like 500, 50 to $100. Very small amount you can start and become an investor into a mutual fund. Third is highly regulated. Mutual funds are highly regulated. You know the regulatory bodies, right? In India, it's SEBI, and in USA, it is SEC. These are the bodies who regulates all the stocks, bonds, and other types of securities or the financial instruments into the country. Okay, so what happens? These when if you're talking about mutual funds, these are very highly regulated. What do I mean by that is they have to publish a lot of reports quarterly and monthly, quarterly, year, annually. They have a lot of regulations to be followed. They have to publish their financials quarterly into the like national and state newspapers. So regulation is very tight and a lot of things they need to follow. Next thing is like minimum investment, as we discussed already. The investment requirement is very low, as good as 500 rupees in India and 50 to $100 in USA. Liquidity is nothing but how easily you can convert your units of mutual fund into cash. So here in this case, your units can be easily converted into cash. For example, I have invested some 10,000 rupees into mutual fund, and tomorrow I have a need of getting that money back because of some personal reason. What I can do is I can just place the redemption request into the portal which is given by the broker, and simply I can place that today, and after tomorrow, maybe tomorrow or within a couple of days, I would get my money back, which is not the same case in case of hedge funds and private equity funds. Talking about the risk is I can't say risk is always low. Relatively, mutual funds are considered to be like low risk factor things, but not always, because there can be some funds which invest into derivatives, swaps, and IRS, CDS. There are a lot of complex securities. Assume that if they are investing into such securities, such type of fund would be like scope for having like more risk. So it depends on the like kind of fund you are investing into, and the risk ranges between like low, medium, high in case of mutual funds. You can take example of index funds, right? If any fund is a following any index of Nifty or Sensex, in that case you can consider that fund to be like low risk, because those listed companies are like well regulated, well followed, and they are performing well. Okay, that way mostly mutual funds are considered to be like low risk factor, but it can range from low, medium, and high risk. Professionally managed, when we say professionally managed, mutual funds are managed by very qualified, very experienced people who are called as like portfolio managers and the fund managers. They are the people who takes all the decisions. Nothing in the hands of investors would be there. They would be investors. Sometimes would be taken some kind of voting thing for taking any corporate action, but mostly it is the investment manager who takes all the decisions. Hope I'm clear so far. Talking about the fees, the last point in today's topic is the fees. So there are a lot of fees involved in any kind of mutual fund. So the typical and regular fees would include administration charges, audit fees and the taxation. We have legal fees, we have 12B1, and in some cases we have redemption fees also. So these fees are like typically considered to be as a called as uh, something like drawbacks of the mutual fund. But at the end of the day, as long as you are going to make the profit after making all the expenses, then definitely it's a good worth investing into mutual funds. So this is about briefly about the mutual fund. In case you have any questions or need a clarity, just put it in the into the comment section, and definitely go through your questions, and I'll try to reply there. In the next video, I would be explaining more about what hedge funds are and how they work and what are the features of the hedge funds. Thank you for listening.